Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. In this video, I'm going to address something that we've not addressed enough in our videos. So in the last many videos, we've been talking about wealth, creating wealth, bucket strategies, sequence of returns, passive income, and including behaviors and habits that are needed to gain that wealth or be on that journey to financial independence. But on that journey, there is another very important aspect, and that is time. How do you value time? How do you quantify time? And the psychology and behavior and habits required to maximize time and to even understand the value of time. This was instrumental in our own journey to financial independence and especially about making this big, bold decision of retiring early. So that understanding helped us to pull that trigger. So hopefully by the end of this video, it can also help you to quantify your own time, put value to that time, and also help you make better decisions, especially about that retirement early part. So before I get into the topic, a quick introduction about myself. My name is Yogi, and my wife Seema and I, we both achieved financial independence and decided to retire early. And now we are enjoying our early retirement lifestyle here in Thailand. Right now we are in one of the towns called Hua Hin in Thailand. We've rented out a villa out here. And just as a side note, most of the houses in Thailand, they have at the entrance of the house a nice statue of Ganeshji, so which is very soothing. Every day you enter, that you can do a namaskar to Ganeshji and enter the house. Anyways, back to the topic. So I'm going to give you some of the realizations and that we had towards time and how it impacted our behavior, so that hopefully this can also help you. So the first obvious realization was that time is finite. When we started our financial journey, for us, the big goal from a wealth perspective was that we will have 1 crore worth of investment someday, or we'll have 1 crore worth of savings or net worth or corpus. Now that goal came and went, and the goalpost kept changing and it kept moving. And I think there is no limit to that. You can have 1 crore, 5 crore, 10 crore, 50, 100, or you can even push the imagination to probably Mukesh Ambani, where you have thousands of crores. But the amazing thing is that the common thing between Mukesh Ambani, Donald Trump, Rahul Gandhi, Narendra Modi, you, us, is that for all of us, time is finite. And if we quantify that, typically a lifespan is of 80 years, but let's assume that the lifespan keeps increasing with the quality of life and health now improving and science. So let's put 90 years. So if you take 90 years of a lifespan, in numbers, it comes to around 32,850 days. Or if you put it in weeks, it comes to 4,680 weeks. And if you put it in months, it comes to 1,080 months. So that's it. Give or take few years, few weeks or months, for all of us, this is the finite box that we have. Now to take this concept from an abstract level to make it visual, what we did is we plotted it in an Excel sheet. And we put it part of our net worth sheet or the finance sheets that we track. And we put it in two versions. One was by week and one was by month. So if you look at it, this box that you have on one end, all the columns of your age, and the other is the rows of the number of months. This is it. This is our life. So this is the finite box. The other tab pages in your Excel sheet or our Excel sheets, you could have, limitless funds or investments in crypto or any other assets that you may desire. But this box, most likely, give or take a few columns, will remain finite. The second realization we came to when we started drawing and we started evaluating and realizing is that not only is it finite, time is irrecoverable. So whatever is spent is spent. Now the other tabs in that same Excel sheet that we have financially, there are times when one of the assets goes down and you have a loss, but then you have a strategy to say, hey, how do I recover this loss by diversifying, and you have different strategies that you definitely can recover or at least can recoup part of your losses. But unlike those tabs in this particular Excel sheet tab, you can't recover back that time. All you can do is probably protect the time that is left by taking care of health, and that's what we are trying or striving. And I think we are stumbling even there. So if you look at the same Excel sheet here, we are 50, so we've already spent those 50 columns of the 50 years, and that's gone. We can't recover that. What we all left is those 40 years, give or take a few columns, that's what's left. And that's what we have to protect. So it's irrecoverable. And when you start visualizing it, that's when the reality keeps hitting. And what we started doing is that we started putting these red boxes every time a week or a month. Whenever we were updating our Excel sheet on a monthly or a quarterly or an yearly basis, we kept updating. And it starts giving you that clock is ticking in that visual way. And it starts giving you the appreciation of time like it did for us. The third realization when we started doing this exercise was realizing that time has different values during our lifetime. So different values because there are different types of years that we have in our lifetime. So the best years are what I call the go-go years, when our body, our mind, our health is raring to go. It wants to do and it can do all the activities, the desires, the passion, the contribution to the society that we want, all of it. And in addition to the body, mind, and health that we have, during those go-go years, you also have the freedom, be it financial freedom as well as freedom of your time to do what you want to do. So these are what I say the best years, the go-go years. The second type, what I categorize is what I call the logo years. That's when your body, mind, health, that's all willing to go, raring to go, but you have a restriction either of time that you can't do what you want to do, either because of you don't have that time with you or you don't have the access to the financials or money that can enable you to do what you do. So, for example, when you're in school, you're studying, or you're working, your professional life. So those are what I would say the logo years. Then the third is the slow-go years. Slow-go years is when either your body or your mind or health wants to take it slow because you're at an age when you can't push yourself towards doing all the things that you could have wanted to do during the go-go years. This is probably in your late 70s when you have physical ailments, or even you want to just probably mentally take it easy. And the last is the no-go years, when either physically or by health or by financial situation or just because of restrictions that you can't do anything that you wanted to do or desired to do. So now if you take all these four types of years, the go-go years, the logo years, slow-go years, and the no-go years, and you plot it on that same table, what you will realize is that typically the initial part of the years and the last few years, that's when what I would say the no-go years are. That's when we are restricted to do whatever we want to do physically, mentally, socially. Then coming to the logo years. Logo years, if that's when our schooling starts. So when we get into the school till we are 18, the maximum we can do is probably during our summer holidays and during our winter holidays. And especially during our teen years, we are chasing the UPSC, IAS, all those exams that, especially in our society, that it's so competitive that we are so much into our studies. And unfortunately, at least for Seema and I, when we were growing up, we were into that typical PCMB, physics, chemistry, maths, bio, or choosing economics, or choosing very specific art subjects, and that's it. And most of us it was all about entrance exams, and it was all about studies. So those logo years, probably even during summer holidays and winter holidays, were more studies rather than exploring the world, what many of the teenagers and the students, what I see now, they have so much of opportunity to explore. Then when we get into the college, that's the first exposure to what I call the go-go years. That's when you have the freedom to, you do have college, but at the same time, you have a lot more time to enjoy, frame relationships, make a circle of friends that become hopefully the friends for life. A lot more can be done. So those are the first, I would say, first few years from probably 19 to 25 that you build those memories, explore your passions, etc. Then we enter again into this big logo year cycle, and that is when post 25 you get into the job, and barring maybe a month here and there during that you take a few weeks off and you go and explore, or you even take a sabbatical maybe, generally from 25 onwards you are dedicated to work. And most of us who are into this, uh, corporate culture, I guess most of you listening are either in some corporate company that you're working in, generally starting your day at 7 o'clock in the morning, reaching office by 8:30, and before you know it, it's around 8:30 by the time you are at home and having dinner, and you have very little to even spend time with the family. At least that was for us, that we were so much dedicated to work that we took less time for ourselves during those logo years. Now, this is where things get interesting, because generally those logo years in a traditional retirement stage could continue till you're 64, 65. So you continue this box till there. And then before I come to the box post 65, probably 85 to 90, that's where those no-go years are, that you're really confined to home or assisted living, and you can't do all the things that you wanted to do. And just before that, probably from the age of 70 to 85, or even 75 to 85, depending on the different health and mental condition, that's when I would say the slow go years are, when you're really taking it easy. So what leaves behind is those boxes from 65 to 75 or maybe 80, those 10 to 15 years, that is what you could really maximize on a traditional retirement. And in our case, when we plotted the same chart for Seema and I, we realized that even during our college time, they should have been the go-go years, but unfortunately for us, they were what I would say the logo years, because we either did not have the access of finances, or even our imagination was not that great at that time, or access to even facilities that we would have wanted to explore things that we could have done. So I would even personally in our case would put those years also, that we were so much focused on our studies, career, etc., that we did not maximize as we could have. So when we looked at our own picture, we realized that if we continue working till 65, the only time it leaves us to really experience life as we wanted to do is on those years. And by the way, that doesn't mean that during the logo years we were not experiencing life, but most of our days from morning 8 o'clock till 8 o'clock in the evening were mentally dedicated to the corporate life. And I'll also come to this big, bold sense of purpose that we are, again, many times sold during that corporate year. So let's park that for a minute, but just by spending so much time there. So that's when we took this bold decision. We said to ourselves that, look, we do not want to just have those go-go years limited to just 10 to 15 years. We wanted to expand that. So that's where we took this bold step of saying that we want to start our go-go years and retire early from the age of 50. So that's what we've done, and that's why this box for us is a lot bigger. And hopefully, we are able to stretch this even during our 70s. So a lot of friends have asked us that, yes, it's good that you've expanded that box and you brought it to such a big span, but how will you spend this time? Aren't you scared that you'll be bored? Aren't you scared that you would, once you're done with traveling, etc.? And that's where I come back again to something that I addressed in the earlier videos also, this so-called sense of purpose. That during the corporate years, we are brainwashed that life's goal and sense of purpose is contributing to the career. And that's what is the most fulfilling part of life. And we've been retired for now more than a year. And believe me, so far, we have not for 1 minute regretted that decision or even thought that our sense of purpose is lost. The sense of purpose evolves. Our way we spend time evolves. And that's what we started learning in the last few years, and we started preparing that how are we going to spend time. So when we started preparing that how do we spend time, that's where we started thinking that, okay, these are the things that we wanted to do in terms of hobbies. This is the passions that we want to do. So we made in that same Excel sheet, by the way, another tab page saying, I would not call it a bucket list, but the must-have to-do list that we want to do. And we put it in different categories in terms of travel. Where do we want, in terms of drives, where all in the world do we want to do drives? In terms of activities, what all activities do we want to learn? Diving, snorkeling, any other activities that we wanted to have. In terms of learning itself, like wine courses that we both like wine and especially red wine. So we wanted to learn, and we are now learning about red wine. What languages do we want to learn? Contribution to society. What all activities do we want to do towards contributing to the society? So as we've addressed in a couple of other videos, we contribute to a school in the village where I was born and brought up in. We contribute in form of these videos, that we put out these videos to make sure that people get that awareness. We contribute in terms of doing mentoring and coaching. So there are multiple things, and that list and that tab page also became long. So the message from our side based on our learning is, one is that identify first that time is finite and recognize that. I think we all know, but when you quantify, we put it in an Excel sheet, then reality hits in. The second is start putting, like we did, that because time is irrecoverable, start putting or crosses against those cells of the weeks or months, however you want to track it, and say that this is gone, this is past time. All that is left is the number of weeks ahead. And the third is start categorizing your time and putting a different value to your time. Interestingly, I've done a detailed video on how to quantify time in a financial way, which is a net present value of time. If you get some time, do watch that video. It will give you some more insights into the same topic that I'm trying to address here. And fourth is start preparing towards saying that what are the things and how do you create value out of your time in terms of activities, in terms of contribution to the society, in terms of learning. There are so many things. And lastly, again, the same message, that do not buy into that story that the sense of purpose is only working and contributing to the betterment of that corporate or the company that you're working for. There is a lot more outside that company. So I hope this video gives you some new insight, if not new, at least a reality check of the psychology of time, and it is useful. If you like the video, please do subscribe, please do like, and please do share it with the others. Please do give your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Would love to hear your views. Till the next video, till the next topic, and till the next location maybe, goodbye from me. Bye-bye.